The president spent the day in Palm Beach, where he addressed a group of donors. Audio of that fundraiser leaked to CNN, and a firestorm began when they quoted him, quoting the president, as praising the Chinese president for essentially becoming leader for life, and President Trump joking that maybe will, meaning the United States, have to give that a shot someday. With that, let's bring in South Carolina radio host, Democratic strategist Anton Seawright, and from the world of conservative talk radio, Rich Zeoli in Philadelphia. Gentlemen, nice to see you. Anton, is the president not able to make a joke without the media and Democrats jumping on him?
I would have given President Trump a pass on this if he had not expressed his admiration for a catalog of authoritarian, dictator, third world type leaders that we've heard from him in the past. And let's not forget how he is cuddled up and his love and affection for Vladimir Putin. So I would have given him a pass otherwise. But I don't think you should joke seriously about things like this, because there are some people who are actually afraid of this type thing happening.
Rich, Antoine, we'll return back now to planet Earth. Rich, have you talked to anybody who's afraid of President Trump trying to usurp the Constitution and become president for life?
No, Leland, I don't think Donald Trump wants to be like the progressive hero FDR and literally die in office. You have to change the Constitution to get the guy out. No, I don't think he wants to do that. In fact, this president has shown again and again he is trying to return power back to the legislative branch, back to the judicial branch. But let's face it, the left loves this. He's a dictator, he's an authoritarian, he's a fascist, and they won't let go, even though he's not trying to write laws from the executive office. That was the guy in there before him, Leland. He's just trying to let Congress do his job and then, you know, be president, like the Constitution says.
Antoine, at some point when everything is outrageous and everything is over the top and so dangerous and everything is a crisis, then nothing becomes outrageous or a crisis. At times, President Trump has said things that people may disagree with or at times are unusual for a president. If everything is suddenly a firestorm, then how are you expecting the American people to know when you're calling balls and strikes?
Well, Leland, keep in mind, if these words would have come out of President Barack Hussein Obama's mouth, whether they were joking or not, there would have been a bigger firestorm happening from you guys, from a lot of people in this country. So, therefore, we have to apply the same rules to Donald J. Trump, who's now the leader of the free world.
Rich, do you think the same rules apply?
It was a joke. Look, everybody understands that. First of all, who would want to be president of the United States for life and have to deal with the media
Donald
and have
Trump?
To deal with the left?
Hold on. Antoine, hold on. This is important. You just made that joke. What possible evidence do you have for that comment? You're saying that essentially the president wasn't joking. You're making an accusation. What evidence do you have?
No, I don't have evidence. What I'm saying is you and I both have heard the old expression.
How about before you make statements about that and accuse somebody of essentially
Leland, are you going to let me finish? Are you going to let me answer?
Yeah, I mean, I want your evidence, though.
I have a question.
Okay, so
why don't you give one example, why don't you give one example of where he's been an authoritarian dictator? Forget all his cozying up to Putin nonsense, your spin, your talking. Give me one concrete example where Trump has gone beyond the Constitution, around the legislature, and tried to be an authoritarian. Give me one.
Well, I don't need to. All I'm telling you is we shouldn't. I can, but I don't need to. All I'm telling you is, all I'm saying to you is that Donald Trump should not joke about these matters.
Right.
That's the most relevant example.
Show me.
That's the most relevant example.
What's the most relevant example?
Show me. Okay, so jokes. I understand he can't
joke. His cuddling up to Putin. That's the most relevant example. He loves. He loves it. What I'm saying to you is, we should not joke about certain things if we're not going to call balls and strikes on both sides.
Beyond the cuddling with Putin, you can't give me one concrete example of Trump being a dictator, going extra executive.
Well, look at all of his executive orders he's done since he's been in office.
Right.
All you have to do is look at all the executive orders since he's been in office.
Antoine, we'll end on a couple of facts here. First of all, it was President Obama who used more executive orders than anybody in the way he handled.
That's disputable.
Using executive orders from the White House. Number two. In terms of cozying up to Russia, I think there's a lot of questions on that as well, especially now that the U.S. is selling lethal weapons to the Ukrainians. Discussion, though, for another time. Antoine and Rich, appreciate both of you guys in a spirited debate.
Thanks,
next time we'll come back with a few more facts. Thanks, guys.